Hey guys, how's it going? How are you all doing? I hope you're doing really well. Today, I'm here with a new video for the channel, this time with a video about binary options. It's a strategy, this time using Heikin Ashi, okay? So without further ado, let's start by setting things up. I have an indicator here that I use the most. First, let's set up the candles. You'll have them like this, in candles. You have them set to candles, so what you need to do is change them from candles here to Heikin Ashi, okay? Once you've changed it here, I set up this indicator, which is a 5-period SMA. I set it to purple because, well, I think it's the easiest color to see. Alright, so how do we trade with this strategy? It's incredibly simple. What we have to do here is simply wait until after a long and uninterrupted sequence of candles, you are able to clearly identify at least 6 or even 7 individual candles. We can take a trade at the moment the trend changes. For example, here there's a sequence of red candles. It looks pretty clear, pretty clean. The moment this candle breaks upward through our trend, we could take a trade on the next candle, that is on this one. But we need a confirmation. The confirmation is that this candle here, when it starts, should be large, it should be big. With Heikin Ashi, a rather interesting phenomenon occurs. When the candle begins, you can already see the size of the volume and the movement it's going to make. At the moment this candle appeared, it was already big, okay? So that's when we would take an upward trade. Immediately, as soon as this one appears, if we see it's a candle with a large volume, we go in for an upward trade. If, on the other hand, the candle comes out this size or comes out red, which also happens sometimes, we can't trade, okay? So it's actually quite simple to identify. If we want to enter in another way, for example, let's say we want to enter here, which is a bearish move. Why? Because there's already a series of large candles here. It doesn't matter if there's a small candle of another color in the sequence. No, that's not a problem. That's the least of it. It's not an issue. The pattern is still very clean. It's just a small imbalance, right? So what do we need to wait for? That our candle, in this case the red one, has already crossed the purple EMA here. On the next candle, which would be this one, it needs to have broken out with high volume at the moment it appears. All we have to do is press the sell button on this candle here for 1 minute. I take them for 1 minute, but if you prefer, you can take them for 2 or even 3 minutes. Although I recommend doing it the way I have done it. So that's it. This strategy is quite simple. Now I'm going to explain where we shouldn't enter. We really shouldn't enter in these areas here where there's a whole series of candles forming, but these particular candles are quite erratic. They're messy and unpredictable. On top of that, there's green, red, then green again, then there's a smaller green, then red. I mean, you can see it looks uneven, right? It needs to be a bit more balanced, like here where the candles look similar. They don't have wicks behind them, nor do they have any kind of imbalance or anything. They look pretty clean, pretty good. Here this one also works very well, as I mentioned before, okay? Also, we can't enter on tiny candles, I'll say it again. For example, this candle already broke through here, right? But when this candle appears, it's just a tiny candle. It's a very small candle. The trade wouldn't be taken. I would wait for this one, the third one. With this candle, you could have taken a trade. Even with this one here, look. Let's say we've already identified here, okay, it already broke through. We took this candle here and we already won that one. And this next one here, it came out big again, it's huge. We can take another trade, a second trade, and I'm sure it would be a win. Look, it's happening here. This candle came out enormous, and the previous one was also much bigger than this one, okay? So now I'm going to show you the trades I've recorded. Very well. Okay, here we have the first trade. I took the first trade as a put on this candle here. Why didn't I take the previous candles? I didn't take the previous candles because they didn't seem optimal to me. Remember, to take trades with this strategy, we need to see large candles with high volume, and the previous candles were very small, so that's why I didn't take it. As soon as this candle appeared, I immediately identified it as a high volume candle, because with Heikin Ashi, there's a phenomenon where when the candle forms, it explodes, it appears, and boom, it becomes huge all at once. So that's the perfect candle for us to enter, okay? As we saw earlier, the candles had already crossed below our purple EMA, and previously we had a pretty clean sequence of candles. So that's it, first trade won. Alright, here we have the second trade. I enter on this second candle. As we can see from before, we have a very nice upward bullish trend. Really nice. It's long, and that's what we're looking for. The moment the red candles start to cross our purple EMA, that's when I decide to enter. Why didn't I enter on the first candle? The one that's already big, in other words, the one before the one I entered on. I didn't enter that one because I got a bit distracted and couldn't get in. But if you see the opportunity to enter on that first one, you can go in, and then you can also take the second one. You can take it, it's totally valid. This strategy is so great because generally when you win one, right after that you can also win the second one. It's really good. That's why I love this strategy and wanted to share it as soon as possible. It's really good. So that's it. We finished the second trade and it's a total winner. Alright, let's go with the last two. Okay, here as we can see, I took this trade going short. Previously we had a pretty nice sequence of rising green candles. So I waited for the candle with the highest possible volume to appear. And well, I took it. It was really good, really clean. Done, one. Now let's go with the next one, which is this one here. I hope you were able to see how that candle made a huge jump as soon as it started. The jump is exactly what we need to look for. When a candle starts and stretches out in its first few seconds, that's the candle that says, yes, you can take a sell here. Why do I take it there? Because I already had previously a sequence of bearish candles. So that's it. The only thing I had to wait for was for my candles to start crossing the purple EMA. And as soon as this candle appeared with great volume and strength, I took it. I hope you really enjoyed the video. This is the end. I hope you will please try out this strategy and let me know in the comments how many positive trades you made. I could do more than 10 in an hour. I'm sure you could even do 20. Please give it a try. I want you to write to me in the comments